Hey y'all, again Angie with Backyard Shooting, and I have this gorgeousness, absolutely gorgeous 10/22 from Ruger. This is the Sporter. It's the 75th anniversary edition. It's absolutely beautiful. Don't you agree? So this is a review, guys, and you know how I roll. Start off with aesthetics. The Ruger 10/22 Sporter from butt to muzzle has a total length of 37 inches, and the total weight is 5.4 pounds. The rubber butt pad leads to the gorgeous natural finish hardwood stock with black checkering. One thing you'll notice on this gorgeous stock is that it comes with sling swivels, which means you can sling this guy. It makes it easy to carry. Not that it's heavy or anything, it's actually super light, like I said, 5.4 pounds. Between the two sling swivels is the heat-stabilized rigid trigger guard that houses the single-stage trigger with a manual push-button cross-bolt safety on the right side of the trigger guard. Directly in front of the safety is the flush 10-shot rotary mag with an easy release directly in front of the mag well. Housed inside the, again, gorgeous hardwood stock is the action where the magic happens. Above the action is the combo scope base adapter for both Weaver style and 22 tip-off scope mounts that are included. But if you don't want to scope it, no worries. There's an open sight option with a front blade sight and a rear adjustable sight. Then there's the 18.5-inch stainless steel cold hammer forged barrel, which is locked into the stock by a 2-screw V-lock system. It has a twist rate of 1:16 right-handed, and the stainless steel barrel, the chrome look with the natural wood finish and black checkering just makes for a gorgeous, gorgeous rifle. All right, now on to operation. First, you have a decision to make. Iron sights or an optic. You can put a red dot on it, you can put a regular traditional scope. And on this one, I have the ATN Thor LTV. This is a thermal optic, and my intentions with most rifles, most guns that I get, is to take them hunting. So I have this one dressed for the occasion. After you've made the decision whether you're gonna go open sights, red dot, traditional scope, thermal, night vision, whatever, after you've made that decision, of course, you'll mount it on there, and then you get to go sight it in. But in order to sight it in, guess what we need to do first? We need to make sure that the gun is on safe before you load it at all. And then, let me show you how to load the magazine. Loading the 10-shot rotary mag is extremely simple. You basically press the bullets in until it's full. Next, insert the magazine, keeping the rifle pointed in a safe direction. Pull the cocking handle to the rear to advance a bullet into the chamber. Take aim, disengage the safety, and squeeze the trigger. All right, next up, let's talk about the ammo tests that I've done. I've done one at 35, one at 50, and one at 100 yards. So first up, the 35-yard one, they were all the bullets. I tested Winchester Wildcat 40 grains, Remington Golden Bullet Hollow Point 40 grains, and Fiocchi Range 40 grain bullets as well. And they all shot pretty similar at 35 yards, though I would say the Fiocchis were the absolute favorite at 35. But will they continue to be the favorites? Let's find out. But not yet, because we're going to talk about the velocity that I am getting with this one. So with the Winchester Wildcat 40 grains, I got 1,234 feet per second. And then with the Remington Golden Bullet, I got 1,133 feet per second. And the Fiocchi range was the slowest at 1,028 feet per second. It was the slowest, but it was the most accurate too. So next up, I took it out to the shooting range and tested it at 50 yards and then 100. At 50 yards, the Fiocchis were absolutely beautiful and really not much of a difference in group size at 35 to 50. So they're absolutely beautiful, pretty much touching one another, all three shots. But the other ones, they didn't shoot near as great as that one. They spaced out a little bit more at 50. So then I picked the two best ones at 50 and took them back to 100. Okay, so this is the 100-yard target, and these are the Fiocchis. These are the Wildcats. So the Wildcats got a couple of right next to each other with a flyer. These ones were more consistent than I'd say the Wildcats, but definitely wouldn't say this is a precision 100-yard gun. But I'll show you, it does its job in just a few minutes. So that's my 100-yard results with the 2 favorite ammos. What I should have done. I always think about what I should have done when I'm here in my shop after I've already done all the testing. I'm like, oh, I should have done that, and I should have done that. I should have probably shot 2 groups of each. That would have been probably a better testing, better results. But anyways, this is what I got so far. I've got a lot more really awesome things with this one. So we got about an 1.5-inch group at 100 yards with the Fiocchis. And I'm curious to try some more ammo in this guy to see what kind of results I get. Because a lot of people will say, oh, you just go get your gun, you get the proper caliber ammo, and then you hit the range and you're good to go. It doesn't really work like that. Most rifles, you need to find out what bullet it likes, because not every rifle likes every bullet, every weight. They're different. They have a different twist rate in the barrel. It's different. And some bullets have more powder. It can be quite a task to find the best bullet. That's why YouTube's awesome. That's why these videos, social media where people share the information is super helpful for everybody out there that owns the different guns, because they can generally type in and say, what bullet does such and such like? And then you can narrow it down and you can get out the range with those bullets, and you don't have to go buy 15 boxes. You can just buy a couple. But anyways, so far the favorite for this one at 35, 50, and 100 yards are the Fiocchi range 40 grain bullets. They shot beautifully. One thing I do need to find out before we go on is what kind of trigger pull we're getting with this guy. So let me get my trigometer, there it is. And we'll see what kind of trigger pull weight we're getting with it. It is clear, there's no mag in it, the chamber's clear, so we are ready to go. Safety's off. 2 pounds, 2.8 ounces. 2 pounds, 6.7 ounces. Yeah, it has a good, nice, crisp, just single stage. You know when it's gonna go off. Just absolutely lovely trigger. So guys, we've talked about the aesthetics, the operation, how it shoots at 35, 50, and 100 yards, but the review is not done yet, because to me, a review is a full performance from the gun. And a full performance to me means it's going into the field and we're gonna take some sort of game, do some pesting, something like that with it. Hence the ATN Thor LTV I have mounted on it. So far with this, I have taken it squirrel hunting, but no success. Not because of accuracy issues, not because of anything to do with the gun or the optic or myself, but everything to do with no squirrels showed up to the party, so there weren't any to aim at and shoot. So I have not successfully had a squirrel hunt with this one, but it's taken, if I had to guess, I should put marks in the stock, right? No, I'm not going to do that. It's too pretty. If I had to guess, this guy's probably taken down between 15 and 20 armadillos. I shoot them in my yard with it. It is not that loud. I do live in the country, sort of, but I do have neighbors that are pretty close. But I'll shoot them in my yard. I also do some pesting at a fella's fox pens that he has foxes and coyotes at, and the armadillos come in there. They dig up around the fence. They eat the dog food. They're a menace. They're a huge menace. So I go in there and I help him out with his armadillos in his pen. Those are my favorite things to shoot with this, and I get some good shots. It's super light, easy offhand shooter, accurate. There's no weight issues. It's got a really good, nice balance to it. Shoulders nicely, the cheek weld's perfect. I mean, it's just a great all-around gun. And then you have your 10 shot. It's semi-auto, so you don't have to cock it and shoot. You just pull the trigger as many times as you need to until that guy's dead. And generally it just takes 1 or 2 shots. Armadillos can be kind of tough. You've got to hit them. My favorite place to hit them is in the front shoulder. If you can hit them in the head, great, but their heads are so tiny and they're not always still, so I usually go for the front shoulder, and that usually puts a hurting on them. Occasionally I'll do a follow-up shot just to stop them from bouncing around so much. But success, absolute success. So I had a friend of mine approached me, and we were talking about armadillos and what it would take to kill an armadillo, and she was pretty sure she needed a 300 blackout. But I told her, I said, I kill them with air guns and a 22 long rifle will be sufficient. And she was like, really? So I had a challenge to go kill armadillos with a 22. And I did just that. And I wound up writing an article for Women's Outdoor News on this exact rifle and an armadillo hunt. So if you guys want to go check that article out, you can check it out here, womensoutdoornews.com. There's some great information in the article, one about this rifle, but also about armadillos and why they're such a nuisance. I also was out on a armadillo hunt at our hunting club because they're out there really bad too and very, very pesty. I was at the club hunting armadillos when I saw a heat spot on the side of the road, and I wasn't sure what it was at first, but it came out into the road and started walking towards me. And at first I thought it was a bobcat, which it wasn't bobcat season, and it would have been illegal for me to take it, so I didn't. Then when it turned sideways, I realized it wasn't a bobcat, it was a coyote, because in the thermal you couldn't see a tail. So I thought that it was a bobcat, but it wound up being a coyote, and I took a shot and I dropped it right there. It was a young coyote, so it wasn't a big full-grown one, but it dropped. I got the coyote with it, so that was pretty unconventional, but very cool. So far with this guy, I always tell you guys, success breeds confidence, and I am confident, again, in this rifle that it does its job. It is a little pretty, though. It's very, very pretty. In some places, I don't really want to take it, like on a coon hunt or something, because I recently did, and we wound up going through some briars and some different things, and I was so worried that it was going to be all scratched up and look terrible, but it actually came out pretty much unscathed. But I don't know if I'll take it again. I might get something else, like Ruger has a carbon fiber 1022 that I have that's coming up very, very soon. So now we're going to do a final overview so I can tell you what I really think of the Ruger 1022 Sporter 75th anniversary. Beautiful, natural wood, stock, gorgeous. I'm already telling you what I think about it. Like I said, guys, success breeds confidence. I absolutely love this rifle. Whenever we talk about going to get armadillos, small game, something like that, I'm like, oh, I'm going to bring my Ruger 1022. That one's coming with me. If it's not an air gun for pesting, it's this guy. I love it. I absolutely love it. Originally, I got it as a loaner from Ruger to write the article for Women's Outdoor News on, but I couldn't let it go back, so it is now mine. It is now mine. I love this thing. That's going to be it for this one, the Ruger 1022 Sporter 75th anniversary. I'm A-Gun Angie with Backyard Shooting. Thank you, Ruger. Thank you, Women's Outdoor News. Thank you, ATN. Thank you, Fiocchi, Winchester, Remington. Thank you guys so much for your support. Thank you, yes, you, for watching. Y'all don't just have a good day. Have an awesome one. See ya. One thing that is extremely noticeable are the swing swivels, is that it has swing slivels, to make the shooting and or hunting experience easier. I don't know what to say. I just can't seem to talk. I cannot pronounce words right now.